This is Chris with Front Porch Football, where we take SEC football as serious as you do. First and foremost, we would be remiss if we didn't extend our prayers and best wishes to those of y'all that were impacted by both Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma. Stay safe and stay strong. And thank you to all those folks helping out in both the cleanup and recovery efforts. It truly means a lot, and you are definitely not going unnoticed. In terms of SEC football, Week 2 was full of great games, and the SEC fared well, I guess you'd say. It could have been worse, but it could have been better. The brightest spot was Georgia. First, the Bulldogs showed up in South Bend, and they showed why they're one of the best fan bases in the country. They took over South Bend, and I wouldn't be surprised if 30,000 Georgia fans were in Notre Dame Stadium, and they definitely played a role in this game. But the most impressive storyline for Georgia this past Saturday was their defense. They proved they are one of the best defenses in the country. They stymied the Notre Dame rushing attack, holding the Irish to 55 yards rushing. The pass defense was also great. Notre Dame threw more incompletions than completions. The Dogs forced 3 fumbles. It was a great defensive performance all around for the Bulldogs. For Georgia to go into South Bend with a true freshman quarterback starting in his first college football game and to beat Notre Dame shows why the Bulldogs are the early favorite to win the East.
Adams comes back to help with any pressure. Winbush keeping. He's got nowhere to go. Walter Grant read that, snuffed it out.
And then there's Auburn. Auburn looked pretty dang bad in its loss to Clemson, but the loss itself wasn't a bad loss at all. The biggest issue is that vaunted rushing attack of Auburn's looked JV at the hands of the Clemson defense. The passing attack didn't look much better either. Jarrett Stidham was a disappointment, but when you're under pressure every time you drop back, it's kind of hard to blame the quarterback. I thought Clemson would win, but I thought Auburn had an offensive line that could hold its own against Clemson. Apparently not. The good news for Auburn is that they were dominated offensively and they still only lost by possession. There's a lot of room for improvement, but this wasn't a season-crushing loss. In fact, losing at Clemson, the defending national champions, by 8 points could be a building block for Auburn this season.
Check on the vision on 1st down and 10. Here's Fuller. Loose football, it's out. Let's see. Auburn says they have it.
But the worst loss this week was Arkansas. The Hogs looked horrible in front of their home crowd in Fayetteville, and the offense looked bad, the defense looked bad, and the special teams was horrific. Brett Bielema entered the season on the warmish hot seat, but he is now definitely on the hot seat. 1-1 heading into the SEC West portion of the schedule, which also features an away game at South Carolina, I think Arkansas is in trouble. They will need to steal a few games if Arkansas is to be bowl eligible, and even that might not be enough to save Bielema's job.
Allen hit, down he goes, and it is the last snap.
And then there's South Carolina. Amongst all these big-time out-of-conference matchups, there was an important SEC East matchup this past Saturday when the Gamecocks traveled to the other Columbia to take on Missouri. Huge win for South Carolina. This was a complete team win. The offense looked good. The defense held an offense that many pundits thought would score 45 points or more on the Gamecocks. They held them to 13 points. And the Gamecocks took another kickoff back for a touchdown. Deebo Samuel is putting up Heisman-like numbers, and South Carolina is now heading home to Williams-Brice Stadium 2-0. This week's game against Kentucky will be huge and have big implications in the SEC East race. Elsewhere around the South, Mississippi State looked really good in their beatdown at Louisiana Tech. Bama looked like Bama against Fresno State, and A&M looks terrible. I don't even know what is going on in College Station, but it's not good. And of course, Wofford got that second win of the season, start off 2-0. T-Dogs on top.
Goddard is your fullback. Goodson digs it out. He's going to pitch it to Morgan on the end around. He's going to dive for the goal line. Touchdown. Did he get there? Touchdown! Terriers, Blake Morgan.